second visitor is Sarah Klingner, a nurse who lives in the Lehigh Valley and attends yet another Trinity, this one in Bethlehem. Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you.
You've had quite a journey in your life. How would you describe the highlights?
I came from a different faith tradition and made the decision when I was just about 40 that I needed to find a church home, and started investigating, meeting different people in different faiths, and deciding that the Episcopal Church fit me. And in 1989 was received in the Episcopal Church in Miami.
Our topic today is people who have either been alienated or marginalized coming to church. Have there been aspects or times in your life when you've been on the periphery?
Oh, most definitely. What was happening in my life at exactly the same time is that I was coming out as lesbian. And as a nurse, this was a totally new experience for me, and made the decision that I did not fit where I had been raised, and that I needed to find a place for me and to raise my children. And so it was actually a man who later became bishop who first introduced me to the Episcopal Church.
And how did the church welcome you?
Well, it was first John who was most open to having me there, introducing me actually to the Book of Common Prayer and saying, this works, this is where you belong. You know, you can make this work for you. And the church in Miami had people who were gay and lesbian in active roles, and it felt like home from the beginning. I think of that hymn, "There's a wideness in God's mercy." There's a wideness in this church that I really appreciated.
Some people report experiencing shame and guilt and ostracism because of their sexuality. Have you ever seen people find a new hope and a new understanding of themselves in church?
Oh, most definitely. That's why I hesitated for so long to actually come out, because I didn't know how that was going to work for me. And what I was seeing in churches there, even in some of the Episcopal churches, was, oh no, that is not going to work. No, you need to rethink and not follow that path. And yet I was looking for a place that was accepting of me. I was a single mother at that time, and a place that would support my children as well. And it was that for me. One year I was on vestry, and it was during Lent, and they were doing a Lenten series, and they actually approached my daughter, who was in high school at the time, to have her speak on what the church meant to her and how she found acceptance there. And that's how it was for us, you know, as a family. It worked very well.
So you don't have to keep a part of yourself hidden?
No.
And you don't have doubts about your integrity as a person?
That's very true. I was the first lesbian there to serve on the vestry. I was at a church home. You know, they allowed me to grow and develop and use my best, do my best with them, and to grow.
Good. Could I say they encouraged you?
Oh, they most certainly did. No, they encouraged me because they gave me the opportunity to do that. So before coming to Bethlehem, I had already had some vestry experience. And of course, when we moved here, now 10 years ago, my partner and I were looking for an Episcopal church. And I have to say that it was you who said that, yes, Trinity would be an excellent fit for us. We did attend other Episcopal churches here, but the first time we walked in Trinity's door, we knew that that was a place that we could be together and open and be accepted.
If churches really want to be welcoming of gay and lesbian persons, what might they ask themselves about their way of being?
First, to start by whether they truly are open, whether they are accepting of other people. Look around the church. You know, I think that that's something that every church struggles with now, not only Episcopal, but what's their reaction to women with children or people of color or people who may have mental health issues that become evident sitting in pews. And what is the response? Is it open or is it drawing back?
Right. There's a difference between being open and being patronizing, too.
Oh, yes, there most certainly is. We, I think, have had the experience of being in churches that everybody was on top of you. You know, sign up here, join this, you know, won't let you go. And whenever the church is looking at stewardship or evangelizing, you know, what does that mean, and how do you make that approach to people without being patronizing? Mm-hmm. And I've served on a number of those committees, and can speak from experience.
Welcome, affirm, invite, but don't smother.
That's it, exactly.
You have some big news, don't you?
I do. My partner and I are getting married after 20 years together.
So it's not a sudden thing.
Oh, no. We say that we've had a very long engagement, and we're getting married actually October 1st at Trinity. Mm-hmm. That's very exciting for us.
So do you think anybody will come?
Well, yes, I do. We had thought that maybe we would have maybe 70, maybe 80 people who would respond, and we have 100 who will be there, friends from the church, friends from this community, and family from near and far. Mm-hmm. So we will have not only a church full, but a house full during this period.
There's a terrible cliche about feeling the love in the room, but I think in this instance, the church really is, by showing up this way, expressing its love and affection for you.
I was so impressed with the little notes that came back on the RSVP cards of, thank you so much for inviting us. We wouldn't miss this day, and we are so proud of you for taking this risk and moving forward.
Yeah. And it's a risk you take because you have a lot of support.
Yes, that's true. And we're so happy to be doing this.
I asked my other guest if there were people in his shoes, what he would share with them. If there are people in your situation in life, what would you want to offer them?
I would say keep looking. Find that church that fits you. Don't give up on the church, because I don't think the Episcopal Church has given up on us.
Thank you very much. Well, our two questions again are, where are the points where you identified with our speakers in terms of feelings of alienation? And where are the places in your life where the church has been your resource? And then to go from there and ask yourself who you see or who you know who might need the invitation to come find faith, to come find acceptance and power for change in their lives. Have a great day.